to be nationals of the Democratic Republic of Congo were deceived with promises of employment before being held against their will. Authorities disclosed that the traffickers extorted large sums of money, reportedly in dollars, from the victims' families under false pretenses. The rescued individuals are currently receiving care and support at the police headquarters in Eleyele, while further investigations continue to unravel the full extent of the operation. The police have vowed to apprehend and prosecute those behind the trafficking network. Oftentimes, when we report trafficking, it's usually, we have talked about it for children, we have talked about it for women being sent out of Nigeria. But right now, we have trafficking of people in Nigeria, in Oyo State. What are your thoughts on this report?
It's sad, but maybe I understand why those people became vulnerable.
Okay.
They are from Democratic Republic of Congo. That's former Zaire. Former Zaire. That's if you remember Mobutu Sese Seko, Joseph Kabila and his son Desire Kabila. That country, from the word go, don't forget, that's also Belgian Congo. In history, they have been plagued with crisis. First, it was the Belgian King Leopold did one of the most horrendous acts of inhumanity anybody would do to anybody. That era phased out, came with independence, so-called, and you had Mobutu Sese. Mobutu Sese Seko. I think before Mobutu Sese Seko, there was somebody that was not Patrice Lumumba was in the French Congo, but there was Mobutu Sese Seko who ruled the country with an iron fist. While like that, he plunged that country.
Right.
The country never developed. Then, crisis here and there. Presently, as we speak now, there is a calamity going on there, especially in the eastern region of Congo, Kivu region. So it's understandable why people would be desperate to leave that place, because even, you would want to think that if they could afford to pay dollars, why not stay back in their country?
Right.
But given that there is a threat to life, you don't want to be in Congo. It has always been a horrible place. It's a mineral-rich country. They have some of the finest minerals, rare minerals in that part of the world. In Congo, especially in the eastern region, the Kivu region. But if you ever heard of resource cost, that is resources being a cost rather than a blessing, the Congo is an example. So their resources, rather than bringing development and blessing, has been a cost to them, plunging them into one crisis or the other. The M23 rebel, recently there was the Rwanda angle to the rebel and all this. So it's understandable why people would want to do anything to leave it. Their vulnerability is understandable. But then it's unfortunate for people. That is the evil in
that is where I was headed. The exploitation of these people.
Absolutely. And now, we can blame the Belgians for exploiting them in time past. The exploitation is still on anyway. We can blame King Leopold of Belgium in years back for exploiting them. But in the era where Pan-Africanism should be taking root, to find people, especially people from our own country, that have always laid claim to the big brother of Africa. It's a shame that people who are in such desperate situation, if you can't help them, the least you should do is to leave them rather than exploiting them. Look at the report. They were found in a terrible state. And what was the plan? Maybe they were even going to sell them to slavery or something. You didn't bring them here to offer them any succor. It's terrible. I think, like the authorities said, whoever is behind this should be fished out and dealt with. Human trafficking is an evil against humanity. It should not be tolerated. Least of all, taking advantage of people in such terrible situations. We condemn it when it happened to our own people. Of course, most of the time, they are being trafficked by, unfortunately, our own people. I feel sad to refer to them as our own people. Now, to think that the same people take this out, it shouldn't be condoned at all. They should be dealt with if arrested. I think efforts should be made to ensure that they are fished out and dealt with. And then whatever help can be offered to those Congolese should be offered to them. They are, as a people, the Congolese are going through a whole lot. And it's terrible for any African to do more to worsen their case.